Well, I've got all my PEX fittings laid out, and I was just about to start putting it together, and I realized, well, I do have pliers for PEX pipes, for clamps. I don't have the one for the cinch clamps that I have here. And I did have a cheap, super cheap piece of garbage clamp, the compression fittings, which was a nightmare to use anyway. When I did my camper, I had to use a C-clamp to get the pressure on it to actually get it to be watertight. It was such a nightmare. I do not want to deal with that in this RV, because once I put these fittings in place in these corners, there's not going to be any adjusting. Because the biggest problem is going to be right down in that corner. I'm going to have an elbow right there. So I have to come in and around. I'm probably going to use the original piece of copper, just this piece, to come off the hot water tank, because that's curved. Otherwise I'll end up using a whole mess of fittings, and the less fittings the better. And I'm going to have to come around over through the corner with a T, or with an elbow, and then come through the bathroom all the way across into the back. There will be another elbow fitting there, and then all the fittings on the water pipes in the very back, which I'll show you in a minute here. So what I have here is I'll have these new valves that I got, very convenient. Those will go here, and that'll go onto my water pipes here, and then from there I'll have a T going to my PEX pipe, which goes through. It's a lot of fittings, but I do like the idea of having this valve. I really very much like that, and because it mounts in here, and because I now have it, I'm going to use it. So that'll be a very convenient thing to have these. I have enough valves for each and every one of my water connections. So thank you again for sending me these. So I'm going to take a trip into Lowe's and get the pliers that I need for those clamps. Got my pliers. As is normal with New York, oddly, it took me an hour and a half to do a 15-mile trip. That's 15 miles one way. 30 miles takes an hour and a half. I don't understand it, but anyway, that's how it is. I finally got back. It's 5:45 now in the evening, and I'm now just about to start work, finally. That's just part of the job. Every day you find something you gotta get prepared and get ready. But here we go. Well, I've never done this before, but I've read the instructions. So I'm going to make this T according to instructions on the pliers manual here. This is awkward because the handles are too large for me to grip. Not exactly sure how far you're supposed to crush this. According to what I think I understood in the instructions, you crush it all the way until it releases, but that's a long gap. I'm not sure if that's correct or not. Maybe it is. There it is. Sure enough, it did do it. So, my first time ever. Pretty cool. So that's the connection for back in the behind in the back of the RV. Right now I'm sort of racing against time because there's a thunderstorm coming, which means I won't be able to finish this if it rains. Oh, that's tight. Completed connection. Nice. So the cold water valve from the bathroom sink, the copper pipe comes into here now, and this passes through to the rest of this. This goes into the through the end of the bathroom, and this goes to the shower and then onto the kitchen. Well, there it is. There's one fitting done. Now I just got about 200 more to go. This is awkward because I can't reach this in any direction very well. Very awkward. Well, there's one piece of pipe out. I'm going to have to round that. That's definitely out of round. That's a problem with cutting these tight corners. I don't know how I'm going to make that round again. I'm racing against time because there's a thunderstorm coming, and this is awkward work. Well, there's another piece of pipe I got out a minute ago. This is going to be a problem here because this piece, I don't know if I have an adapter that'll fit that. Oh, look at that. Nice sliver. This piece I twisted accidentally. I didn't know that was soldered onto this fitting and then screwed in, and then the T connector was soldered on, and well, whatever. I twisted the pipe, so that's garbage. So, I'll show you what I've got so far. I've got the hot and the cold water pipes disconnected. That's the drain pipe to the cold water. Now I can run my PEX fittings across through here. I have to finish the outdoor parts now urgently because the rain is coming. It's really annoying that the rain is coming, but I have to do this and try to get it done before it gets dark and before the rain hits. It's just such tight quarters here to work in. It's really tough trying to cut in these angles, and I'm going to have to actually use a hacksaw and cut this smoother because it's out of round now, and I found out a hacksaw is a little bit neater than a Dremel, so I have to do that. But the further I go, the more I find that I have to do. It just keeps going and going and going. But anyway, that's the drain. The rain is coming. I can hear it. It's coming hard. I can hear it. It doesn't look as... That's a stupid camera. Now the camera's showing it brighter than it is. Isn't that funny? I can hear the rain coming through the trees. So I gotta sign off and put the cat in. She's outside crying in fear. It got dark fast. Really fast. All my outdoor lights have come on. I want to show you something cool. There's a purple glow on the chicken coop. Look at that, security lights are coming on. This camera's funny. Now it's showing it brighter than it is. This is a funny camera. Anyway, I've got a solar bug zapper that I'm going to have to figure out how to put up here better. For now I have it sitting here, and hopefully it's going to zap some bugs which will fall into the chicken coop and be food for the birds. It doesn't exactly sit perfectly straight on its own, so I'll have to rig that up, but I'll figure something out, even if it's only halfway. But there's my solar bug zapper. which is now a food provider for the chickens. It was only $7 on sale in Michigan, and if it works, I'm going to have my mom get me some more of them. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. I'm having some troubles here trying to figure out how to get the PEX through this corner. I don't know exactly how I want to do this. Once I get that, it's going to fall into place nice and easy, but this is causing me trouble because there's only about 2 inches in there. Thinking about trying to run some PEX. I'm going to try experimentally take a piece, see if I fit it through there on an elbow, and run it through just so it sticks out this way enough to fit on a one of those shark bites, and then put a straight piece from there through to the back. See what I can do. I sure hope I can make this work. Working these tight confines is not easy. I just pulled this off. This was the lower connection to the hot water heater. This hose goes down in there, and I'm going to have to reroute the pipes to make this work out better. I just have to figure out a way. I had to cut off this T fitting, which was on this thing, and I'm going to have to try to figure out a better way to do this. I do have a pipe cutter that did work on here at least. I'm hoping my PEX, my shark bite compression T fitting will fit on there. This is the hose that comes from the water pump directly. Now I've got to come up out of the wall here, which is going to be a nightmare, tee off to that, and then come down there somehow. I know there's not much light in here, but that's what I have to deal with. It is how it is. And honestly, I don't know how this thing goes in there actually, because it's a tight fitting around by that water pump. Oh, it went under. It went along under the water pump. Or yeah. What a mess. What a job here. It's really tight in here. Really, really tight going in here. This is awkward. I might have to use the original copper and then press in PEX, but I just don't think I can get it in there. It's just, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I just don't see how it's going to work and get it around that corner in the wall. I just don't see it happening. All I can figure, another option is if I drill a hole right through the wall into the bathroom and go above the hot water heater. And maybe try to keep that, put it right through the wall here, and keep it below the level of the toilet if I can. I have to be careful. I might have to run it at an angle in because it has to go underneath this cabinet. This is really tight. This is really, really tight. This is very hard to work with here. I mean, it's already 7, 8 o'clock, I think. I don't know. And I hadn't even really begun. I'm still trying to figure out how to piece things in here. Using my brand new drill bit set, the Rerouting set that I got just before I left for vacation. My brand new Rerouting drill. I'm going to put a hole in the wall. I have made my decision. This is just going to have to be. I'm going to put a hole not through that framework because it'll be a nightmare to get through. I'm going to go just on the edge of that and go right through the wall, just above the water heater there. And I have, you won't see it, maybe you can, I have put steel wool in the original holes and stuffed it so that mice can never get through there and never get inside the walls either. And I'm going to drill right through up here. I'm tired of messing around and trying to figure this out. It's just not going to happen. This RV was never designed to have the plumbing fixed and worked on, because there's no way I'm getting through that wall down to where that is. There's no way I'm going to connect the PEX fittings and the pressure fittings. No way that I'll be able to do any work down there. So it's going to be up here above the hot water heater. I sure hope this is okay. It is a pressurized system, so it should be fine. So I really hope that is going to be right. If it fails, then I'll find out. I'm going right through here. Done. I'm going to put 2 holes, one for each line, hot water and cold water. There's one. Hit something in there. Alright, there's my new water line, water lines. Come over here, see how bad the whole wall looks. Ugly. Ugly holes in the wall. This RV stuff is disgusting. But it's going to be under the toilet. Had to be. I really thought about this a lot. It just had to be done. I can't play around all day. Parents are coming. I've got to have this system set up. So we got 13 inches and 14.5 inches. I'm going to do the same over here. In here I have a problem I just discovered. There's a pipe runs straight down, so I'm going to have to figure out how to go between that pipe and the wall. This is not... always something in here. Always something going on. I don't know how I'm going to do this. This isn't easy. I could angle down and go out through the original hole, but I kind of like the idea of having the pipes raised anyway. I also want to run them straight across to where they keep them where they are, keep them together. But I don't want to hit that. Oh, the tolerance is going to be tight in here. Very tight. I'm feeling with my hand. And I don't think I can do this from outside in. Maybe I can try. I want to try this from outdoors. But the problem... yeah, well, let's see what I can do. Changed my mind. I'm running the PEX in, through the wall, and down to the original hole in the floor. And then I'll stuff that with steel wool and foam it. This is flexible PEX, so hey, why not? I think this is going to work. And there's less cuts, less bends, less connections, less holes in the walls, and less stress, because there's no way I could fit that in there. It wasn't going to go in between that pipe and the wall. So I'll just deal with what I have, and that'll connect better down underneath where I wanted it anyway. So it turns out in the end, I think... well, I've crimped this piece together, but it's curved, so it's really fighting me. It's making this a tougher job. If I get that through that hole and then feed it up through the other wall, hopefully I can make this work. But I sure hope I know what I'm doing here. I really hope I do this right. Well, it's through. It's in there. It's awkward. Now I gave myself extra room on the inside to work with for later. see how it looks out there. Now I've got it hanging in here, right where I want it. I'm going to have to do all my connections right here. Now I've got this piece. Yeah, it's fighting me. It's so stiff. Yeah, this is a tough thing to work with. It's really stiff. Confuses me because I forget how I'm supposed to have this. But it's going to work. That's got to go through a little bit more. Well, I had to cut that big curly pipe. I sure hope this is a good fitting in here. It was a little bit curved and I'm not sure if that's sealed well. The horrible thing is I have no way of testing anything until I pressurize it, and that is scary. I'm not happy about that at all. So the idea here is I'll have this going down underneath inside there. Really nervous about all these fittings. This one especially I'm not comfortable with. It sort of moves, so I don't think it's in there deep enough. This one feels good. There's quite a lot of fittings in here. That slides nicely in there. This one bothers me because it moves. I think I'm going to have to back it off and try it again. That one bothers me badly. So there is the cold water hookup. I've got I had to use a compression, what do you call it? I had to use a shark bite onto the copper fitting. And an elbow, I don't know if you can see with the light down there, and another piece of PEX to another elbow to a shark bite T. This comes from the water pump. This tees off and goes down into the bottom of the hot water heater, and this goes off through the camper then, through the bathroom wall, and is now hooked up to the sink. Well, I haven't torqued it down yet. And then tomorrow, because it's too dark out now, tomorrow I'm going to branch into there and then run across into the other copper pipes over here. I'm going to have to put a T and a water faucet because I can't get to the drain over here under the shower. I just can't reach with the way the things are cut and fit. And so I'm just going to have to go to the hardware store tomorrow and get, or tomorrow's Sunday. Well, anyway, I'll have to go to the hardware store and get a drain faucet and go straight down through the floor back there and be done with it. And then the cold water lines will be done. So that's a lot of work. I did not expect it to take so many hours to do this, but it's just too tight in here. They didn't leave enough space to work in this thing, not at all. And I had to work with, they had a hose to a fitting, to a fitting, to a fitting, to a pipe, and this is ridiculous. That was the original setup. And instead of going and figuring out what all to replace here and all kinds of headache and chaos, I just went into one of these shark bites with the original copper pipe, because this was watertight originally. That was alright. So there it is for tonight. End of work tonight.